Hi there! My name's Olivia, and for APO's virtual Rocky Horror extravaganza, I'm going to be showing you how to do Eddy's forehead gash with makeup. I'm going to be using liquid latex. If you have a latex allergy, you can use white school glue instead and get a similar effect. So here's the finished look of that. Now for the list of products you'll need. Starting off with liquid latex, you can use clear or colored. It doesn't really matter which. You can get liquid latex for pretty cheap at any Halloween store. Next is fake blood. I use thicker blood because it stays better. And then you'll need coloring of some kind. I use cream paints. You can use eyeshadows, eyeliners, lipsticks, whatever you have. You'll just need red, brown, black, and purple. Next we have powder. You can use a makeup powder or even baby powder. For the tools, you'll need small brushes, makeup sponges, and either tweezers or a small pair of scissors. Start off by getting any hair that's in the way out of your face because latex and hair is a bad combo. Now that we are real up close, I'm starting by drawing a line with my red paint across my forehead where I want the gash to go. Sorry that my camera doesn't like to focus. So now I'm just dipping my makeup sponge into liquid latex and going all around the line that I drew. So going beyond the line out to the edges of my forehead. So I'm going to be repeating this. I think I went about 5 or 6 times, and each layer you go, you want to get closer and closer to the center so that the edges stay the thinnest and that the middle, right across where the line you drew was, is the thickest. Next up, you're going to powder all of that. You can see here I blasted myself in the face with powder. This is a part where you need to be very careful. I have this going in double speed because it takes a while, but you need to go slow and be very careful. I am cutting open the latex. You can also use tweezers for this part to sort of rip it open, but you need to be very careful that you don't cut your skin and you're only cutting the latex. So it looks like I'm going fast here, but really this took twice as long as you see here. Next, I'm starting with my red cream paint, and I am filling in the gaps. So all over the inside of the cut, I'm going to fill in with red paint and then repeat on the other side. Next, I'm going to be taking my brown color and going on the edges and not the center. So just to add depth, we're going to be putting brown all around the outside of the cut. And then I'm taking a clean brush and I'm just blending the brown. Now we are going to be taking our black on the tiniest brush I have and going just along the very edge of the wound. This is going to further add depth to it. And then blend it out with a clean brush and repeat on the other side. Now I'm taking a sponge that I've kind of ripped up the top of in a purple color, and I am just dabbing it randomly on the outside, the edges of the gash, just to sort of give the skin a little bit of a bruising sort of variation in color. Now I'm using a white paint to add the stitches that you can see in Eddy's gash. So I'm just doing thin strokes of white paint across. It doesn't look super realistic up close, but from afar it'll look like it's being held together by some stitches. Now we're going to be putting on fake blood. I'm using a bit of a thicker blood just because I find it stays in place better and doesn't run as much. And I'm just putting it all over the inside of the gash and trying to avoid putting it on the stitches so that it doesn't wipe them away. Here's a very extra clip of me opening up my drippier sort of blood and painting that on the edge just to have the blood dripping out of one side like Eddy does. And then I'm using a purple cream paint, just putting it underneath my eyes on the same ripped up sponge that I used before to a bit look more how Eddy does in the movie. So this is the final look. Now you're ready to take down your hair and go rock and roll. Thank you for joining me.